Hey to everyone coming in. I'm just trying to make sure I've got everything set up. Hi Lindsay, how are you doing? How is the full moon in Sagittarius going for you guys? Hi girl. How are you guys doing? And who actually did the challenge from the full moon in Scorpio? That's what I want to know, because are you really ready for the next challenge? We need to know. So bear with me as I get everything sorted, because we're about to dive real deep today. Hi Diva. Okay. Okay. Oh, you're a sad sun and rising. Now, listen. This full moon, like, this is no joke, for especially for you, like Sag risings in particular. I don't know if you watched the oracle readings that I done for all of the sun signs, all of the signs. I did mention Sag rising, like this is you. This is your time. Like, this is focused on you really coming into the essence of who you are, what you're meant to do. You know, this is everything. Right, what's going on? Right. Okay. Right. Just making sure I've got my notes up and everything. So hello guys, welcome to, well, the full moon in Sag, it should be hitting the other side of the water, so the other side of the waters first, so they should have their full moon first, and then the full moon hits us tomorrow in the early hours of this morning. So okay, so what is the full moon all about? I did mention, I did kind of do like a breakdown of full moons in the last video that I did, and the full moon is literally where everything is illuminated. This is a powerful time for manifestation, and especially in this moon right here, like Sagittarius again, this is this fire energy, you know, and we want to be able to, everything that we do in this season, in this full moon energy, is going to be setting us up for the full moon in Capricorn, where we can actually see the tangible results of our labor. Okay, so Sagittarius, Sagittarius is all about the human consciousness and the developing of the human consciousness. It's all about evolution, and if we kind of take ourselves back from the full moon in Scorpio, so Scorpio, we went down into the deeps of, you know, all of our shadows, all of our inner demons, you know, just making sure we've been clearing out all of the residuals of everything we don't need to carry with us anymore. And then now we've come into Sagittarius, where we've come out of the underworld experience. We're still purging the residuals of whatever was left from the full moon in Scorpio, but now we're coming into the essence of the evolution. Now, it's not about getting stuck in the underworld experiences all the time, you know. It's about us being able to step forward and be like, okay, what is it that I learned from this past season that I need to make my foundation and allow myself to stand on this to make sure that I can propel myself going forward throughout the rest of the seasons. Really take time to think about that. So with Sagittarius, this is symbolized by it has three different symbols. One of the symbols of Sagittarius is the centaur. So the centaur is an ancient symbol from Greek mythology, and this is, so it depicts a creature. A creature has the torso of a man, and it has from waist down, he's a horse. Now it's interesting because the centaur is the twins that's now become one in Sagittarius. So Gemini is the opposite sign of Sagittarius. So the sun is in Gemini, the moon is now in Sagittarius. So this is this whole integrative energy that is taking place, where we're integrating, again, the illusion of there's no separation. Even though Gemini has two sides, it's not two sides. It's that it becomes one in Sagittarius. So we're now formulating our perspectives, our ideologies, our philosophies, our true understanding of self, true understanding of our realities. We're reframing our mindsets, making sure that our mindsets are being aligned into a more healthy mindset that can allow us to achieve what we want to actually achieve. Because in Scorpio, it brought up all of the self-limiting things that we like to do, the things that we like to affirm about ourselves, the things that we think about ourselves, all of these dark things. And so now we're coming into a place where we're like, okay, that no longer works for me anymore. In a lot of I recorded the Oracle, the Zodiac Oracle readings yesterday, and a lot of the readings were saying, this doesn't work for me anymore. Like, I have to be able to find a new program, because this is not working anymore. Their base existence doesn't work for me anymore. I need to be able to transcend this program and, create a brand new path. And this is what Sagittarius is all about. It's about your own self-realization and of yourself, because it can be very this is something that was coming up as well. There's a lot of people that have dreams, have passions, have aspirations, but they have people niggling in their head. So they're almost like lowering down what they don't see it as valuable. They don't see it as practical because everyone else has been able to tell them that it's not. So this is the time to not allow external chatter, whether it be coming from family, whether it be coming from friends, whether it be coming from social conditioning or whatever. This is not a time to allow anything that is external from you distract you from where you're going. One of the other symbols of Sagittarius is the archer. It is you'll see the arrow, the glyph actually has the arrow. And this is about focus. You can't, how many of you try to actually draw an arrow and a bow? I can't do that. But it's all about having that focused direction. When you draw it back, it's going directly in the direction that you intended it to go. So this is a time where you're going to begin to bring clarity of what is it that you want to do, what is it that you see for yourself, and I'm going to be mentioning the challenge a bit later, following off from the challenge that we did from the full moon in Scorpio, because that would something that will help you from a self-healing perspective, just to kind of change your mindsets on certain things. So this season, Sagittarius is all about this is almost like a preliminary I can't speak properly. Preliminary, the word I'm saying anyway. This is a preparation going into Capricorn energy. So Sagittarius is before Capricorn, and Capricorn is like the mountain, that the mountaintop experience, where you can actually be like, wow, okay, I finally achieved everything that I've set out to do. This is where you can actually see the tangible manifestation of your hard work. So let me go back to my notes to make sure that I'm hitting everything that I wanted to hit. Okay, so Gemini season, Gemini, I'm a Gemini sun myself. And this season is very, very changeable. Gemini is a mutable sign. You don't know which way it's gonna blow. It just is. You just have to allow it to be. But the polarity between Gemini and its changeable nature, as opposed to Sagittarius, which is its opposite, um, its ambitious nature, its focused direction. You're learning how to balance these two energies together, the focus, but also the ability to just, just be, just be yourself. And this is Gemini in itself. Gemini is all about self-expression. Sagittarius is all about expressing your beliefs, expressing, it's all this is all about expressing your life experience, what you've learned from your life experiences. Your philosophies are developed from the experiences that you've allowed yourself to experience. And this brings me to my next point, which is, don't allow yourself to block yourself from experiencing you know, experiencing life, because a lot of the time we become so controlling. If we can control every aspect of our life, we will. We want to be able to make sure this don't happen, and we want to make sure that you avoid all of the dark spots. But at the end of the day, life is life, and you need to be able to experience both polarities of everything. And sometimes, a lot of the time, what prevents us from allowing ourselves to experience life is our fear of the unknown. We have to be able to eradicate that fear. Fear doesn't actually exist. What is it? Fear is false evidence appearing real. So these are things that we actually create in our minds. These are our own little, imaginary kind of things that we placed in our minds that have allowed us to become a blockage to us actually stepping forward and doing what you feel like you need to do. Whether how many, I know so many people that have been like, okay, I want to write a book. How many years are you still writing that book? And it doesn't mean to say that it needs, it takes a long time for you to be able to write a book, but have you even taken a step to even start that process? What is it that you're afraid of from you actually taking that step and that leap and being able to do what you're supposed to be doing? A lot of this is bringing up our own sense of purpose, because a lot of people are walking around with no sense of purpose, because then they haven't allowed them to see what is it that resonates, is natural to them. They haven't taken, they don't have the ability to be self-aware of themselves or anything, so they put themselves in this dark spot, and then that's what actually keeps them trapped. So this is a time where we're having this spark of fire, like Sagittarius is a fire sign, but it's also the type of fire of illumination. It's a type of fire to awaken. Fire is the last element of transformation in terms of alchemy. So everything has to go through fire as a last resort. So this is what's happening right now. We're going through this fire experience, which is burning out all of the excess debris that is not necessary anymore. If we look at gold, fire refines gold. The fire may not be a kind of something that we would initially kind of ask for, but the fire is necessary, because we need to be able to um, come into a place of purification. Fire purifies. And so let me go back to my notes to make sure I'm on point. So yeah, you're coming into, this is like a new beginning energy, and this full moon is on 29 degrees, I believe it was, which is really, really interesting, because 29 degrees is all to do with endings. But with Sagittarius, this being this fire engine energy is an ending, but it's more so a new beginning. So you're literally stepping into a whole new paradigm that you can create for yourself. Even me myself right now, I'm shifting. I'm going through a process of, you know, like um, taking some steps in my business that I never thought I would allow myself to take, because I've always been afraid of taking that step. And so I'm literally being like the fool in the tarot card, you know, taking that leap of faith. Like, this is not a time to be holding back. This is like one of the big preparation seasons going into 2012. As I've mentioned before, 2012 is a leap year. Whenever there's a leap year, there's always a quantum leap that takes place. There's always a leap in the development of human evolution, like drastically. You know, we don't often recognize what happened before. Like, this type of energy that we're in right now is the same type of energy going from 2000 and going from 1999 into 2000. That was a weird shift. It was like, whoa, like a new paradigm. Like, this is exactly what is going on in this season right now. So you want to be able to take utilize the most of this energy. Like, do not allow this energy to go to waste, because you have the power to be able to create, like, and shift yourself into an amazing place. Like, this is literally like you know, like a massive energetic shift that, you know, a lot of things in the world and in our own personal lives, like, this can literally just change a lot if we allow it to, you know. So with okay, let me go back. So Sagittarius also is to do with long distance travels. So you could be doing some distance travels. The solar eclipse also is coming up next month in Cancer. So there's some people that could be moving home or moving abroad for a long period of time. So there could be some, this is what I mean, this is drastic shifts that could be taking place that moves you out of your comfort zone. Like, Cancer is the comfort zone. You know, it likes to be at home, it likes to be in comfortable places, it likes to be in familiar places. But the universe is like, okay, are you ready to try something new? Are you ready to try a new experience? You know, are you ready to, like, shift your perspective and expose yourself to new possibilities? You know, this is what this energy is all about. Sag is also to do with higher education and higher knowledge. This can be a time, before I go into the knowledge part, this can because it is almost like the higher, this is like the prophetic season. So you can be connecting to your higher self a lot in this time. You know, really pay attention to your dreams. They can be very vivid at the moment, and especially where we've had a lot of solar activity in terms of solar flares and solar storms. You know, there could be a lot of just erraticness and almost feeling like you're suspended a little bit. You know, there's that energy going on. So into the high knowledge, this Sagittarius rules like um, university type thing. So you could be setting out to study some degrees to be able to bring you to the career that you want to actually be in. You know, anyone who's having 10th house transits or even 6th house transits or anything like that, you'll be a lot of career stuff will be coming up for you. So so yeah, this is about doing something different, doing something drastic. Einstein says insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You know, we can't be doing the same things. Like, this is literally breaking the whole mold. The best way to face your fears is actually to do exactly what you're fearing. So say, for example, you know, so like, if you just want to shake up your energy a bit more, like, Sagittarius is literally that adventurous. It'll be like, do you know what, tomorrow I'm going bungee jumping just to shake up my energy a bit and just get some life in me. Like Sagittarius is all about the life. It's all about the excitement. So this is what I mean about doing something drastic. It doesn't have to be something as drastic as bungee jumping. Whatever drastic is within your within your own personal experience, like do that. Whatever resonates with you. So we've been adjusting ourselves for the last few months since April. So since Taurus season, we've been doing a lot of adjusting to this new person, this new identity, this new way that we can express ourselves, this new way that we're going to make sure that past traumas or any limitations no longer has any effect over us. Like we've been going through this shift for a long time, but mostly it's intensified in the last few months. So this is a time when everything is really going to begin to get real. And yeah, so it's like you've been breaking these patterns. So now, okay, so this is like the period where it's like, you know, because nothing happens overnight. So there's going to be a lot of exploration that's going to be taking place in this kind of period right now. So, you know, this season is also, Sagittarius refers to like internal conflict or internal emotional conflicts as well. So there could be a lot of emotional kind of battlefield experience going on, and I definitely can testify to that because I've had quite an intense build up, especially in this waxing period, whilst the moon has been waxing into the full moon. It's been hell of intense. My emotions has just been all over the place. It's just been like an intense emotional purge. And you know, when you speak to people, it can just come out a bit like because there's always like this frustration that's coming out, because it's like energy needs to shift and you don't know what to do it, so you're doing whatever can happen. You know, so really be careful of your words. This is Gemini season, so we can almost have the tendency to be a bit you know, rash with our words, but just pay attention to also how you're feeling. Again, this brings up emotional intelligence, because you know, even though like you may be feeling certain things, like you being aware of how you're feeling, you can then direct your actions a bit better. So that will definitely help you. So definitely begin to see the potential of what's on the other side. Like you can now you've come out of the underground and you're now back on ground now, some kind of ground. And you know, like, see the potential. You've already come this far. Like, celebrate how far you've come. Like, let this season be a season of celebration where you can be like, wow, do you know what? I've been through hell and high water, but do you know what? I stayed true to myself. I stayed true to the situation. I didn't run away. Like, I went at it head first, you know, and now I'm here and I'm like, okay, I can see, you know, what's happened, but I also can see where I'm going. And so this is all about staying focused on where you're going. Stop looking back. Stop looking back at what was, what could be, what do you know, like it's all of these shoulda, woulda, couldas that keep us trapped in the past. You know, we can't change the past. All we can do is focus on the present moment, and in this moment we can impact our future. So really take some time to be present in this time. And with hold on. Yeah, this is the time to really do the work. So with Gemini and Sagittarius, it's almost like walk the walk and talk the talk. You know, because some people can talk the talk, but they don't know how to walk the walk. You know, Sagittarius is all about, no, I live this, you know, like, so, and Gemini is the speaker, you know, but you need to be able to align the two. So anyone, especially this will be a really good time for anyone who wants to set up, a platform and actually want to speak about spiritual issues or religious issues or anything on that type of thing. This is a perfect time for you to be able to do that with Gemini being in the sun. Communication and networks and stuff. This is a perfect time for that. Right. I've gone through this. Okay, so this comes to the challenge, or the ritual, or whatever you want to call it. Some people might not like that word. So last month in the full moon in Sagittarius, so the full moon in Scorpio, we went through a process where we was evaluating all of the pain that we was feeling, all of our painful experiences, and we was just writing it out as it is. Really coming to terms with what's happened, with where we are at, and this, where we're at now, we are about to rewrite that. And if you haven't done the last month's challenge, you can still do this in this. I'll speak it in a way that you can still incorporate the two. But I definitely encourage you to do this. It will be really, really powerful for you. So this is all about changing your story. And to change your story, you have to change your mindset, because we keep reaffirming the same stories to ourselves. Let me read something for you. Okay. So there's a Native American story. You may have heard of it. Okay, and it's of the two wolves. And so the grandfather is talking to his grandson about how he feels about a tragedy in their village. I feel as though I have two wolves fighting in my heart. One wolf is the vengeful, angry, violent one. The other wolf is the loving, compassionate one. The grandson asks, "Grandfather, which wolf will you win the fight in your heart?" The grandfather places his hand on the heart and replies, "The one I feed." Okay? You can choose which wolf you want to which wolf you want to feed. So how do we learn to feed the stories that allow us to heal? Because a lot of the time we spend more time feeding the stories that allow us to feel like we're in pain and that we're a victim, and that like you can never achieve anything, or everything you do is there's always some kind of opposition. You are choosing to feed that wolf. So now we're going to choose to feed the other wolf. This is all about balance, Gemini season. So how do we put together the pieces of the past? How can we rewrite our story so that pain becomes meaningful and actually promotes growth and transformation? Because we get stuck in the pain mode and we don't know how to actually transform it and alchemize it into something positive, something better, something with purpose. So this is where focused journaling comes in. So this is about the first step of this, and I will go into I'm preparing a workshop called Healing Through Writing. So this is some of the stuff that's in there. So I will be doing much more deeper things on this, but this is just a little thing that you can kind of utilize for now. So the first step is become aware of what you have built around yourself. What stories are you continuing to tell yourself to protect the integrity of the wall you have created? Separate the perception of the people who hurt you from the inner story you are telling and retelling within. Ask yourself, who is telling your story? Because oftentimes, it's not us. We can feel powerless when we don't feel ourselves to let go of these stories that we keep telling ourselves that makes us a victim. We are the ones that are keeping these stories alive. Become a witness to your own creation of your daily life. So here's the exercise now. So you can think of a difficult event in your life that's happened in the past. my nose is itching. Feel the emotions associated with that person or event, and then visualize yourself stepping back and see yourself telling the story, the old story, that you told yourself. If you did this last month, you can just reread that old story. If you haven't done that, just write it first, okay? So, story. Now choose to write a new version from where you are standing, some distance away. Take all the time you need for this process, and then retell the story from a place of power, a place of understanding, of overstanding. Like, you're no longer that victim, you're now in a completely different place. So celebrate the fact that you actually got through it, and that you don't need to attach yourself to the pain of the experience anymore, because that becomes your anchor. This is a time to release everything that is connected to your wings that's preventing you from being able to fly, okay? That's preventing you from being able to take that leap. I love Lisa Nichols, because there's something that she always says, and she says, when taking that leap, or there's three things that can happen to you. You either fall on something soft, you either fall on something hard, or you fly. Now, there's only two of those things that are the bad two. I wouldn't even say bad, but just for the context of what I'm trying to get to, those are the bad ones. But really, those are where you get your most valuable lessons, but it's about taking the gems out of those lessons and those experiences and using them to propel you to go forward, not holding yourself to the old paradigm. So now write your story, including the flip perspective of the past and the right aligned mindset for your future. Write your future narrative, allowing this to be immersed within your being. So let me give you an example of how you would do this. So say, for example, there was a girl. So you can choose to write it in the third person, you can choose to write it in the first person. It's up to you. But I'm just for the purpose of trying to find an example, let me do it like this. So say there was a girl who grew up, and she grew up in a family that was very deeply deprived of love and affection and connection, and but she realized that she chose this family because that in there she will learn that she will be able to she'll be forced to love herself even deeply and more deeply, because that's something that is not available. It will cause her to if she was continually oppressed by her family by saying, okay, you have to be like this, or you have to be like this, she learned that to stand on her own square and not allow anyone to speak for her or control her actions. She went through many trials, overcoming many obstacles, and now she's in a place where she's achieving her dreams. She now recognizes how beautiful and how valuable she is, that now she's gone off into modeling, because she recognizes that she is a light, and her beauty is a light, and she has found confidence in being able to express her beauty through modeling or beauty. That's just a made up story, but like, it's an example of how you can tell your story, but not limit it to the pain. Being able to celebrate the journey and the understanding and the flip perspectives that she's been able to gain in this process. It's all about experience at the end of the day. So let me see if there's anything else I needed to add before I go forward. I think I've hit everything so far. So I did, so as a reminder, I did do all of the Zodiac readings yesterday. They've been uploaded onto my YouTube channel, so you can find a bit more clarity into what's going on with your energy. Definitely check the sun, moon, and rising signs of your signs. But I do encourage you to watch all of the videos and match it up to where those signs are in your natal chart, so you understand what areas of your life are being activated. Say, for example, if Sagittarius is in your third house, then you know that something to do with siblings, neighborhood, communication, maybe electronics, you know, um, uh, um, just expression, anything to do with those types of things. Like those kind of things will be highlighted. But when you match it up to your chart, you get a bit more of an understanding, because you're not just your sun, your moon, or your rising. You're not just one sign, you are the whole zodiac. And self-mastery comes when you be able to see everything as a whole rather than as an individual. So I'm hoping that this live resonated with you. Again, if you would need a more personalized session, or if you would like to schedule any type of session with me, whether it's astrology, whether it's an intuitive therapeutic session, counseling, whatever, you can go to my website, which is www.soul-reconnection.com, and you can book there. So I'm just sending you guys so much love, and please, please, please utilize this energy. This is amazing times, and I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, so peace.